Truck stops, man. These places are like beacons in the middle of nowhere. You got these long, desolate highways, truckers pushing through the night, fighting off sleep and loneliness. It's a breeding ground for some seriously dark energy. Truck stops, man, they've seen it all. Countless souls passing through, each with their own story, their own energy. Tonight, we're diving deep into the heart of these stories, the ones that keep truckers awake at night. Get ready, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Picture this. You're hauling a load through the dead of night, the only sound the hum of your engine. You pull into a truck stop, just a desolate patch of asphalt under flickering fluorescent lights. The air is thick, heavy with the smell of diesel and something else, something you can't quite place. As you're filling your tank, you see her. Standing by the edge of the road, shrouded in the mist kicked up by passing trucks, is a young woman. She's got this look in her eyes, desperate, pleading. Her thumb's out, but something about her feels off, wrong. You get back in your rig, trying to shake the image of the woman from your mind. Hours later, you're miles down the road, swallowed by a thick fog that seems to cling to your truck. You glance in your rearview mirror, and that's when you see her. The woman. She's sitting in your passenger seat, staring straight ahead, her face illuminated by the passing headlights. And then, just as quickly as she appeared, she's gone. There's this diner in Nevada. Truckers whisper about it. It's the kind of place where time seems to stand still, where the coffee's always hot and the stories are even hotter. But there's one story, one presence that chills the blood of even the most seasoned drivers. In the corner booth, shrouded in shadow, sits a man. He's always there, a permanent fixture in the tapestry of the diner. They say he never orders, never speaks. One night a trucker decides to confront the enigma in the corner, but the man doesn't react. And then, right before the trucker's eyes, the figure in the booth fades away. Kansas, home of endless wheat fields and the eerie quiet that comes with them. It's late, you're pushing through, gotta make that delivery. You pull into a truck stop, the neon sign buzzing a desperate plea for attention in the stillness of the night. You gotta use the restroom, nature calls. The air in there is thick, heavy with the smell of bleach and something else, something stale and cold. You're washing your hands, staring at your reflection in the mirror when you see it. A figure standing behind you, just out of focus, in the periphery of your vision. You spin around, heart pounding, but there's nothing there. You try to shake it off, tell yourself it was just a trick of the light. But then, you look back in the mirror and there it is again. Chapter 4. The Screaming Shadows. This one comes from a trucker who swore he'd never park his rig overnight again. He was on a desolate stretch of road, the kind that seems to stretch on forever. Exhaustion finally got the better of him, and he pulled into a remote rest stop, figuring he could catch a few hours of sleep. He drifted off to the drone of the engine, only to be jolted awake by the sound of screaming. It was coming from outside, a chorus of panicked cries that sent chills down his spine. He looked out his window, and that's when he saw them. Dark, shadowy figures, darting between the trucks, their cries echoing in the night. But there was no one there. He was the only soul for miles around. Chapter 5. The Ghostly Gas Attendant. Texas. The air is thick with humidity and the promise of a storm. You pull into a dimly lit gas station, the neon sign flickering erratically in the oppressive heat. You pull up to the pump, and a young man, barely old enough to shave, emerges from the shadows. He fills your tank, whistling a tuneless melody, and you can't help but feel a sense of unease. You go inside to pay, and the cashier, a woman with tired eyes, looks at you like you've grown a second head. "There's no one working outside this late," she says. Chapter 6. The Missing Convoy, the Rockies. Majestic, unforgiving, and some say, haunted. You're hauling a load through the winding mountain passes, the air thin and cold. The headlights of your rig cut through the darkness, revealing the treacherous road ahead. In the distance you see them. 3 trucks, old and rusted, their headlights barely piercing the darkness. You try to catch up, but every time you get close, they seem to get farther away. Those are just a few of the stories, the whispers that echo through the truck stops and rest areas that line our highways. The open road, man, it holds secrets, dark and unsettling truths that most folks try to ignore. But not us. We embrace the unknown. We seek out the shadows. These spine check out the shadows. These spine-chilling encounters remind us of the mysteries lingering along our highways. The next time you find yourself at a truck stop late at night, remember, you might not be as alone as you think. Listen closely, you might just hear the echoes of those who are forever bound to the road. Stay safe out there.